So when I say effing, it's literally effing.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Carnival Cruising Podcastaways. Here are your hosts, Thomas Kennedy, Trevor Shelby, Gary Manning, and Jennifer No Last Name, We talk cruises every day, let the golden boys and girls take you away to a place of fun in the sun. Join us as we say, take it away, Golden Crew!
Yay!
No last name, huh?
Can I get a snap, 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 snap? Can I get a snap, 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 snap? Can I get a snap, 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 snap? Can I get a snap?
All right, enough snaps. I gotta cut down.
I was having
like-
fun snapping.
There's like 12 lines of snapping. So
Can you tell it how long you want the song? Because I mean,
so it is just random. It will throw out 30 seconds, or it'll take that little bit and make it 4.5 minutes. And the 4.5 minutes will just be like residual snap, 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 snap. But
But
you know,
that
we
was catchy,
gathered.
though.
Yeah, it is. And I just want everybody to know that this isn't your normal episode. We've all gathered here today for our good friend, Mr. Gary Manning.
Thank you.
We gotta have a talk with you, sir.
Oh,
And-
really?
This is your intervention. We all love
Uh-oh.
you. And
Okay.
how many drinks
What do
have you had today?
That's irrelevant. That's not that
That's
important. That's not that
irrelevant.
important. Yeah, that's not
Oh.
important. I just finished number 3.
Oh, it's too funny. I love it. Well,
But it was good though. I mean, hey, listen. I sent you guys the text. Walk-ons had $3 wells from 3 to 6.
yeah.
And then from 9 to 12, they have it as well. So if you live in the Southeast, I don't think you guys have them in Oklahoma. Jen, I'm pretty sure you don't have a walk-ons back over in California. But it is a Louisiana thing. And I want to say Drew Brees is who started them. And it's kind of expanding out. We've got a couple over in Alabama. I've seen a couple over in Georgia, a couple down in Florida, and now here in Arkansas, where I'm at today in Conway, they have one. And I mean, their happy hour, they do happy hour right. $3 wells, can't beat it, man. I mean,
There
truthfully.
you go.
So that was the
I don't
advertisement for
know.
walk-ons. And walk-ons, if you want to sponsor us, hey, we're here for you.
I don't know. We got on the border that does dollar margaritas.
I've had on the border, yeah. Now I will say, a lot of times when you get these, and I don't know about your margaritas at on the border. However, these walk-ons were not light pours. I mean, they were still steady 1.5 to 2 ounce pours, for the shots. I was very, very impressed. Sometimes you get those specialty drinks for the, a happy hour, and you can't taste the alcohol in them.
Yeah.
No, you could taste it in these. So.
Wow.
But enough about me and my drinking problem. Oh, wait, I don't have a drinking problem.
Good to stay in denial there. So, how's everybody's week been?
I don't want to talk about that.
You don't want to talk about it. Mine's been okay. Work has been very demanding. That's been my life. So,
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
wish my
that's-
knee was working because I'm getting sick of this, of hobbling around because of all the rain and stuff we've been getting. Weather's been changing, and my knee's just like, nope, you're gonna have to deal with this, bud. So
How about you, Jen?
I mean, my week's fine. I'm suffering from a little cruise envy. I have a coworker who just came back she did a 4th of July cruise
ooh,
to Ensenada with her family, and she's just tanned and happy and talking all sorts of great stuff about Carnival and how wonderful they were to her family, and which is really good to hear. Her family is vegan, and she was a little nervous about not being able to find stuff to eat, and then she said, oh my gosh, it was so great, and is just on and on about how wonderful they were. And so now I'm like,
What ship
I
were
gotta
they
wait
on?
like 6 months before I go on a ship.
What ship were they on?
Frenzy, I think.
Okay. They're doing the Italian style.
Yeah, the whatever Italian ship they have out of Long Beach now, which if I was
It's
a
a
really clever
Firenze,
podcast person, I would have looked it up. Mhm.
Yeah, it's the Firenze. You're right. Or
Yeah.
the Firenze. Yeah, but
Firenze.
so
Pinkies up.
One thing that I've noticed is Carnival's done so much better with their vegan menus, their vegetarian menus, all that stuff. The Megan, my wife, is a vegetarian, and she's been that way since she was like 12. And so the options before was kind of like, which Indian dish am I getting tonight? And she loves Indian. So, but now you've got so many options. It's quite nice.
Now they have its own menu. Plus they have the dietary thing at the front now that you can look up what they have and stuff.
Yeah, and something me and Mr. Manning have experienced a little bit of is jumping back and forth to that menu and confusing your waiter. And because they really get confused when you start ordering off the vegan menu when you've been ordering, not vegan all week. They're like, "Oh, wait, are you vegan?"
Or the gluten-free,
yeah, or gluten-free, yeah. They're like, "Oh no!" So they get really worried. But man,
that's the thing, though. For me, I mean, it's all so good.
Mm-hmm.
And that's for me. I just absolutely, that's one thing that I really do enjoy about cruising Carnival is the offering of foods and the different varieties. I've said it before, I'll say it continuously. It is probably the best non-veg Indian food you will ever find anywhere on any restaurant, land or sea. So,
Man, I wish you guys could have experienced the tandoori grill that they used to have on the Magic, and I don't know if it's still on the Breeze or not, but it was on the back where on most ships is the fish or the seafood shack. So,
yeah.
I have decided I'm not going to sail another ship that I have already sailed. So from now on, any cruise that I book will be a new ship. And Teresa and I just talked about it last week. We are booking a Carnival anniversary cruise. So that limits us down. It looks like it's going to end up being I can't remember, Elation out of Jacksonville.
Now, are you counting post, coming out of dry dock? Because
the Spirit is the exception. The Spirit will be the exception. I will cruise, honest and truthfully. I like if I went on a 6-month cruise, it would have to be like the Spirit, or even if I went on just a Journeys cruise, I would want it to be the Spirit. But yeah, that's the only exception to the rule.
Yeah,
I will sell the Spirit again, but from now on,
really I was like, man, that's a declaration right there for you because
it's
that Spirit is something else.
Yep, exactly. And that's the thing. If you have not, we continue to tell you listeners, if you have or have not had an opportunity to sail the Spirit, you need to. It is just a fantastic, I don't know what it is about it. It's got some sort of special aura or something, but it is a very, very, very amazing ship.
Yeah. I 100% agree. I kind of agree with you on the ship thing. I like to experience other ships. I've cruised the Magic several times, and so I wouldn't mind. It's been so many years, and so I'd like to go back on the Magic again and kind of see it maybe after an update or something. But beyond that, I want to experience new ships, new places. I'm tired of hitting the same like 3 places. If I go to Cozumel one more time, I'm done. So I'm just letting y'all know. So
Yeah, see, and that's one of those things. Yeah, I don't mind. A Cozumel I enjoy. I don't really. There are a few ports that I do not want to go back to, but I was just actually talking to a buddy of mine today, and we were talking about Nassau, and I was like, I will take Nassau is not a port I avoid. I love Nassau,
yeah,
and there's just for like I said. I mean, I told him I think I exaggerated because I told him I've been there 8 times, but I think it's more like 6 or 7. But
yeah,
and every time I go, I find something else to do. There's always something fresh to do in Nassau. And so and that's not even like excursion side. That's just like getting off the ship, walking down the pier, and just going left or right. I mean, that's all there is.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
the last cruise that I went on back in, when was it, March, I think, or April?
Mhm.
April.
April.
We got off the ship at Cozumel for like an hour. And that's it.
We have
And
a
I
mission
can
we
kind
have
of
to
see
complete
that.
though. But
Oh, I am
we gotta be
doing it.
together.
Don't worry about that. It will be. Oh, okay. Well, y'all can do it. I am going to take care of this mission on I think it's probably going to be about August the 1st,
Okay.
or I'm going to verify that. I'll look at that up while we're talking tonight and let you
Yeah.
know. But I know
There
for
you
a
go.
fact I
We
am
had to go
going
back
to
and listen to that
accomplish it.
episode to figure out what randomness we decided what we were doing. But
Trying to
thought
find
it
that
was-
Filipino restaurant.
I was going to say it's just the Filipino restaurant that's right there
Yeah.
in Cozumel.
but
So.
I don't know. It's very random, and you've got to get there at the right time. It's like once you get off the ship, it's closed, so you've got to wait for them to open, and so
And by the time Trevor, it was open,
by the time,
Trevor was already 3 sheets to the wind.
yeah. Oh man, I was gone.
Trace Amigos is Trevor's nemesis. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Oh.
That's one of those things. And then within the next couple of weeks, we're going to talk about our must visit locations or our must visit venues in ports. So be prepared for that. Be thinking about it. Trace Amigos, I think, might end up falling into Trevor's have to stops. One of those have to
Yeah.
stops.
Get the guy with the whistle and his tequila shots, and you won't
I've
remember
never
anything else.
I've never had that done with the dude. It's always been a woman who's did the whistle shot.
Oh wow.
Every time I've gone, it's been the dude, and it's been the same guy every time.
All right. So July 29th. That was a couple days
July
off. July 29th, it will be in Cozumel. So
there you go.
the mission will be completed.
So just like the last, I think, 24 episodes, we have started doing this Am I the Snooty Snoot? And we didn't have a poll up last week because we didn't do it. And so we've got a few. I had to search and find and scrounge. And finally, I just asked the next closest source to find it for me, which was Madison. And so Madison was able to whip together
Madison's actually working now.
Yeah, so
I mean, Madison, I thought we decided to fire her because she wasn't doing anything.
I was going to pretend this was a call-in, but from our SpeakPipe page, so it is kind of written that way. So, but this is absolutely Madison.
Am I the snooty snoot? I, 18-year-old female, along with a friend who is a 20-year-old female, am currently on a 4-day cruise trip that does not provide Wi-Fi unless you pay. My friend decided early on that she didn't want to pay for Wi-Fi because she wanted to do a social media detox. I, on the other hand, paid for the $80 Wi-Fi, which covers the 4-day trip. My friend was pretty annoyed that I bought Wi-Fi as she wanted to do the detox together, but I didn't see a reason for me to do it because my phone use isn't really that out of hand. However, ever since I bought Wi-Fi, whenever I go on my phone, my friend asks if she can borrow it to text her boyfriend or parents, which I agreed to at first, as I thought she was just responding to some messages. But as time went on, she began having longer conversations through my phone whenever I'm on it 10 to 15 minutes each time. I got really sick of it, as each time I just had to sit there awkwardly and wait for her to finish. Eventually, I got pretty irritated and jokingly said to her, "You're basically getting Wi-Fi for free." And she replied with, "Yeah, I know. It's great that I'm leeching off of you." I then said to her jokingly, once again, "Oh, I should make you chip in and transfer me." My friend got visibly irritated and annoyed and became very quiet, and when I tried offering my phone, she rejected. We had a conversation later that night. After everything's calmed down, she just said, "I think it was really out of pocket that you said that," and did not reflect on her own actions at all.
So, is she the snooty snoot?
No, she paid for it. You know, her friend was trying to detox. That's her friend's fault for not buying the social media package or whatever package she bought. It's not her friend's responsibility to keep giving her phone.
I want to say anybody who uses the phrase social media detox, I'm immediately exhausted. I just no.
Done with the friend.
just no. At any point in time, that person could go get their own stinking Wi-Fi. Like, this is no.
Yeah.
For what I like most about this is, as time went on,
Yes,
it was a 4-day cruise.
Yeah.
4 days. They aren't on a 30-day voyage.
I want to know when Madison got a country accent.
Well, there's like a billion accents, by the way. So
I really like that one. That one was nice.
Yeah, that was a good one. So my take on it is, I can understand like maybe one time, maybe 2 times, maybe like on day 2 and day 4 or something. I don't know, but not like every day and for long periods of time. So I would say that she's not the snooty snoot. Her friend is being kind of a snooty snoot. So,
well, I'm gonna throw a little bit of like maybe devil's advocate / what can we call a snooty snoot? Can't think of anything right here off the top of my head. Pro snooty snooter, or maybe a diamond platinum member.
Wait a minute.
So, so maybe, just maybe, she should not have gotten the internet package at all to help her friend. Or maybe she should not have been on her phone in her friend's presence.
I don't think a detox is the same as like an AA sponsor or something.
I'm just throwing that out there. We're talking about the intervention here, and so I'm just gonna say.
I mean, that.
Also, want to say I really like my lighting in this episode. If you want to see this lighting, head over to Spotify and check it out. We have a live, or not a live, but we have a video production of us, so where you can actually see
live
all
to
of
you.
us. Live to you, and as long as you're not streaming it through a Bluetooth device, you'll be able to see it on Spotify.
Yep, absolutely.
But back to the
video button. Be horrified.
Yep.
So.
Back to this, except for unless you just focus it on the lower left quadrant of the video.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So, but personally, I can sit there and I can go both ways. Like I said, I can see her friend's despair. I can see her friend's frustration. I can see, because of, here you are, you're offering this to your friend, and your friend, I mean, we all know social media is like crack. And when you get just a little bit of it, the next thing you know, you are 15, 20 minutes into it, and you're like, oh, wow, where did the time go? So, I mean, if she's going to give her friend an 8-ball, she can't be upset because she comes back looking for a dime bag.
You're going a little overboard.
A dime. How can you go from you started off with the big stuff and went down to the dime bag, which is small stuff.
That's what I'm just saying, though. I'm just saying.
Oh God!
You can't give the big stuff and then be mad when she comes back for more.
Go from
Well, that's a
coke to
take.
weed.
That is a take.
That's a
Oh,
take.
well, let's.
Yeah,
let's
and
have
then I
a-
went from crack and coke to weed. I know that, but that's still because that's what she said. She said that she was sometimes texting her friend, sometimes she was over here doing this. She was going back and forth doing all kinds of different things. Social media
Well,
is a
there you
drug.
go. We'll post a poll up and see who is correct on this one, and so
Trevor will post the poll.
I will post the poll. So I'm glad that you said that. So that reminds me to post a poll, and we'll do who is the snooty snoot. I'll post it up there, and we will see how that goes.
I posted the wrong poll last time, so I'm not posting any more polls.
Oh, okay.
Just kidding. But
Anyways, so yeah, if you go over to our Facebook page or group, just search for Carnival Cruising Podcastaways, you'll find us on both. Make sure you join both, and that way you can follow along with the fun there and vote and participate. So
in the group though, not on the page.
yeah, it'll be on the group.
You'll get to like socialize with the rest of our fans or cults, if you will.
Yeah, there you go. But so, Mr. Kennedy, I believe we have something that you wanted to bring up, actually, in this episode.
Yeah, it's a complaint.
Wait, what did they say to John Heald? They'll maybe come over there and fight you. I'll fight you.
Wait a minute, I need to give you the crooked finger.
Yeah. I was like, it's been long enough. He'll just go into it. Anyways, go ahead.
All right, so this is a complaint to John. Question: why can't Carnival put fans in every room? Our roll call shows that every person wants one. My wife is a light sleeper and sleeps with a fan every night. Why should we bring our own fans? Why can't they be available on the ships? Having to carry one from home to the ship is not convenient. How about those packs who fly? Last April on the celebration, our interior room was too warm the first day or two, and after multiple complaints, they finally offered to deliver a fan to our room. They brought us a box fan, which was too large. We put it on top of the writing desk and let it blow on our bed for the remainder of the cruise. Carnival should have them in every room on every ship. You will say it's too expensive. Go pound sand, John Heald. Carnival is a multi-billion-dollar company. Buying fans for every room will not break Carnival's bank. Which, before we go into the fan thing, if you're going to complain to John, don't say that everyone wants something, because you're speaking for people who probably don't even know you're complaining.
Yeah. Well, and I'll say that, I don't mind bringing fan because, we've got plenty to choose from Brandon Allen, Kathleen Burkhart. We've got Melissa Galloway. We've got Shane Swan. We've got, just all kinds of fans that we can bring on. And so, I mean, there's I'm kidding. So I will say that I actually like bringing a fan, but if you know the list of 27 things that you can request from your room steward, then you too could get a fan from your room steward sometimes.
I have a feeling this is one of those 27 things that we are going to be discussing in a few weeks here.
I know they were told at one point to not provide fans, but I have so far every crew's been able to get one. So I'm just
according to John, they're for emergency and medical use, and first.
Yeah.
Right.
So
yeah.
And he says that you can bring a fan no bigger than 12 inches.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, a 12-inch fan Anyways,
Yeah.
we'll
It's
stop
not
on
the
that.
size of the fan; it's how they
right.
use it.
Exactly.
Yeah, you
And
hang
so-
it from the ceiling and you aim it towards you.
Look, and that's the truth. I mean, we will put some links on our our Facebook page that will let you go to Amazon and get a magnetic fan that you can
Yeah.
actually mount to the ceiling.
Battery
That's
operated,
battery
no
operated.
cords.
And it charges and runs for like 45 hours.
Yeah.
So
You'll
so
be
we
set
have
for your
we
cruise.
yeah, I
Just
mean,
remember to
yeah,
take it down
you're
before your room steward comes in.
that's the main thing, yes, and so I told Teresa we were buying one, and her first thing out of her mouth was, "That's illegal." I'm like, "Well, yeah, but we just take it down before the room steward comes in." I mean,
Oh,
the fan itself is not illegal. Hanging it from the ceiling, whether it's by magnet or by whatever,
yes. Yeah.
that's when it becomes illegal.
That's where it's the issue, because it could fall and hit you in the head, bonk you in the head, and you're in trouble.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, you hang it. That's why you hang it at the foot of the bed, not the head of the bed. But yeah, could you imagine those sleeping and the fan falls in the middle of the night and hits you in the leg, and you're like, "Oh,
yeah.
that would be
It,
hilarious."
it's like me watching a video while I'm in bed and drop the phone on my head. I mean,
Yeah.
Yes. 'Cause you're getting
Yeah,
tired.
done it. Oh, well.
So Lynn, what do you think about this? What do you do you have to sleep with the fan?
I don't know.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I've never understood the need to bring a fan on. But I think if that's what you need, then the cruise ship
Okay.
isn't, Mom. Bring on what you need. It's allowable to make your trip enjoyable. And stop dumping on John about it.
Yeah. 100%.
Hey,
exactly.
there you go. That's now a shirt. Stop dumping on John about it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop jumping on John until he brings back the chocolates, the pillow
Yeah, that's
chocolates.
true. Pillow
Oh,
chocolate.
that's
Oh,
You're going
man,
way
I'm
back.
telling you.
Mhm.
Well, and we talked about it last week or week before but that is, or maybe it was with Josh. I just recently had this discussion when we talked about it because that's how they
Well,
put guys' burgers on every ship.
Yeah,
was
we
taking
talked about
away.
it because
Okay,
I actually did ask John if they would consider bringing it back, and he said that's how he got Guy's Burger. It's like,
Yeah,
well,
so-
take the blue iguana off.
all right, we're gonna.
Wow. Shots fired. X thrown up. Oh my God.
X for edit. We gotta edit that out. So don't want
No, I
Thomas
forget to
getting
edit
any.
that part out.
We don't want
So-
Thomas getting any fan mail for not liking the blue iguana. But so I will say I do not have to have a fan because I have an app on my phone that's called White Noise.
Mhm.
And so I use that instead of actually having the fan noise. So that's where I'm at for mine for our, my wife can't. We have a little Bluetooth speaker that we use. I'll pull up the White Noise app, turn my phone off, let it charge, play the white noise, and it's good.
There. I have a ALEXA that does that.
Oh,
I just tell it good
precious.
night and it starts my white noise.
I have a
Turns
ceiling
lights
fan,
off.
and if I'm not listening to white noise, I'm listening to an audiobook for like 3 hours until I have a timer that shuts it off.
There
There
you
you
go.
go.
Well, I don't know. So bringing a fan, we bring a fan, and I've never really been like a big deal about it. Megan's more of the fan person, but I was so glad we had it on the Spirit because when on that Alaskan cruise, because they had that heat cranked up. And we were in a balcony. We were breaking like every rule imaginable. We had our door open at night, and it was not okay. It was so hot in there, it was unbearable. And like
Even by pushing the thing even the thermostat all the way
that
down.
did nothing. We called
Really?
guest services a couple of times, and like it was wild because the people like right next door were freezing, and I felt bad for them. And I was like, oh, can we just trade rooms? So,
For
but
real.
yeah, it was nuts. I don't know if there's something like up with it or what, but we just had a wild time. And so, yeah, if it got too hot, we kicked that door open for a few minutes and just let it like bring the temp down a little bit. And
That's good to know for
it worked well in
FRGC3.
Alaska. So
Yeah.
when it's like
Well,
20 degrees
you know,
outside.
well, we have our first ever Carnival Cruising Podcastaways group cruise coming up
Mhm.
in May of next year of 2025. And
Yes.
so if you want to go to Alaska with us, contact Amanda at Have Luggage Will Travel, HLWtravel.com, Amanda at HLWtravel.com. Fill her inbox with all kinds of junk mail, even if you don't want to come on the cruise.
Yeah.
But if you do want to, make sure you reach out to her but that's good to know for next year, because I may have to bring a fan or request a fan then if that's going to be the case. Because
Not every room was that way. So my room was
well,
that
I
way.
can't.
My sister's room was that way. My parents' room was freezing cold. So don't know what to tell
Yeah.
you. We weren't near each other though. We were all on opposite sides of the ship and stuff. So it was, I don't want a room near my parents.
We're not going to be on the Spirit though. We'll be on the Luminosa. But no, it's
still could be
one
that
of
way though.
one of Tom's favorite ships. But
it's a Harry Potter ship, yeah.
Yep. So
yeah, and that's
it's
one of those
themed after Harry Potter.
And one of those things that we decided not to put a blue iguana on. But anyways, I digress.
Well, and this is a good segue because you bring up Amanda Barmore at Have Luggage Will Travel, who's our travel agent. And whenever I think of her, I think of bears. I think of bear attacks. I think of people
travel agent of Carnival Cruising Podcast.
Yeah. I think of people being mauled. And did you hear that there was a big brawl on a Carnival cruise ship a while ago? This is a great segue. So this is probably the best segue.
I didn't understand how you went.
Okay, so Amanda, and then Amanda with bear hugs and attacking Gary, unfortunately, and then the continuation of bears finding me in Alaska. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so. I think Amanda sent those on me, and Gary just today had a run-in with a bear's den. Okay, I just want to throw that out there. He let me know there was a bear's den, and it was a very close call for him. So if they knew that he was there, it would have been horrible. But last month on the Carnival Paradise, I think it was their
cruises out of Tampa.
Yeah, and it arrived in port on June 7th. So there was a big brawl on that, and there's a video of it. I will post it in the group if anyone's got it, and it's quite wild. And it's kind of funny narrated. The guy is just a little obnoxious, and so
he's a bit inebriated.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I mean, all they were trying to do was just get some pizza.
Yeah, all they wanted was some pizza.
Yeah,
he says that
if you're a loyal listener to this show, you understand that Trevor and some of the rest of us as well feel that pizza has some intrinsic healing, medicinal.
Absolutely. There is something about that pizza that just gets me there. So I think I cried once, called Tom. I was eating the pizza, and it was the most amazing.
He was on the ship. He was on, and he didn't know. No, you didn't. You didn't call. You posted a video.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
you posted a video, and you were crying. I wish you were here, Tom.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh God.
Oh, you know what? I remember what cruise that was too. So now it makes sense.
It all makes sense. Did that one go out of New Orleans?
That one went out of New Orleans. So, that's a whole other story. So, but way off topic. So these people were like throwing chairs. They were like, I mean, it was like a WWE match.
I was going to say all that was missing was the ladders. I mean,
Yeah,
they had the
so-
tables, they had the
Mhm.
tables, they had the
I
chairs.
think
They just
someone
did-
got power bombed on a table.
It was quite wild. And so people have been banned over this. So
That's the thing. I mean, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, right? I mean, I know that's a
Yes.
cliche saying, but Carnival, that's one of those things. Carnival does not tolerate any type of violence. Whether it's verbal violence, whether it's actual physical violence, they do not tolerate it, and they're going to ban you. And when you get banned, I mean, they're not going to let you back on their ship. That's just the way it is.
Right.
I mean, they're so.
Sometimes,
Oh, go ahead.
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. I was like, they're so strict that they banned someone who wasn't even in a fight. He was walking by, and someone got shoved into him, and he just kept walking. So I'm
Yeah,
just like,
and sometimes they'll even put you off if you have another port that you're about to visit, they'll put you off at that port, and then you are responsible to get your own ass or your own self back to your home.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. So, or I mean, you could be, arrested, in port too. Things like that happen. So,
Yep.
I want to say it was one of the cruises right past COVID that I was on, and I can't remember which one, but it ended with like we sat there out on the balcony, watched about 12 people get hauled off in cuffs because they probably had warrants. They probably weren't troublemakers, but we didn't have many troublemakers at cruise besides just wild kids, and I think it was the foosball cruise, by the way. So
wow.
yeah, so that was the foosball incident. So why we continue to protect the foosball tables. So
Yes. Now, I will also say, majority. I don't know what percentage, but I'm just going to throw a number out there because, as you guys know, statistics are typically 99% made up. But I would say 98, 95%. I'm going to go 95% of these type of things that have happened with the fights and stuff happen on those 3 and 4 day short cruises.
yeah, what they call booze cruises.
Booze cruise, party cruise, and you can do your own thinking however you want to do it. But a lot of times those are the, just people who are able to get out, and they just want to get loose and forget everything. And alcohol gets involved, and then one thing leads to another. And then, well,
and then you're not getting pizza.
Exactly. Then you have videos going up on all kinds of social media for people to watch, and but yeah.
So let's say a fight does break out in front of you. No, you're not a part of it. What do you do?
Okay.
Like, what is your action?
Well, you're not. If you try and stop it, you're going to be banned too. So you have to call security or film it. Yeah.
Or film it.
So if I'm
only
standing,
two options.
if I'm standing in line at the Pizza Pirate, since that is my favorite pizza place on Carnival cruises, and a fight breaks out, whether it's in the area, because see, here's the other thing I'll say about that video, and I've made mention of it, and I'll make mention of it here. I know that this video was late, or it was a late recorded video in the early morning time, because if you catch it at one point, he kind of angles up a little bit, and you can see where there's a breakfast sign that's already been put up in one of the replacement things. I don't think that happens until 1 o'clock in the morning. I can't promise you, but I know that it doesn't happen until late. It doesn't happen at 10, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
So with that being said, if I was standing there in line and a fight broke out, I'm probably literally going to just turn and walk and go the other way and just let it happen, depending upon how much alcohol I had. Now, if I'm on a drink package cruise, there's a good chance that I probably would just stand there and record it. But if I'm in my right state of mind, I will probably just walk away and just be like, I don't need any part of this. Let me get as
Yeah.
far away as possible because I don't want to be anywhere nearly affiliated with any of it. So,
Yeah, I think the one of the stories going around said it happened at 3 a.m. So
yeah,
that's yeah. But I think I would probably back away and get security. That escalated really quickly. And, really just a reminder, alcohol is a heck of a drug, man. And
Yeah.
there are a lot of people not thinking clearly.
yeah.
There,
It's kind of like a
there's
social media.
there's an episode of How I Met Your Mother called "Nothing Good Happens After 2 o'clock in the Morning."
Exactly. Yeah.
There's some
Well,
truth
that's
to
the
that.
thing. Yeah. My parents, my dad specifically, he was a police officer. And and he would tell me, he told me 11:30. He's like, look, nothing good happens after 11:30. He says you just need to be home by 11:30. He says because all of the calls that we start getting are starting to happen after that. I mean, Houdini back in the 80s, he made a fantastic song and it was called Freaks Come Out at Night. And inside that song, I mean, he talks about how you can go to the club, but it wasn't until after what that the party really started. Does anybody know?
It's been forever since I heard that song.
Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue.
But anyways, yeah. So I can't remember either, so it's okay. But I remember he does say that he always had to be home before that time, but that's the thing. So, but that's where it's at. I mean, I think it was after 11. I think maybe it was 12 after 12 that the party really started. But and that's one of those things. So yeah, but the freaks do. They come out at night. It's just one of those problems, one of those things. And so now a cruise ship, it's one of those things too that a lot of times there's people. That's the really awesome thing about cruising. And I'm going to rant. I'm sorry, but you can either be in your bed and you can be in your cabin in your bed at 8:30, 9 o'clock at night and sleeping like a little angel, like somebody over here does, or you can be in the casino at 10, 11 o'clock at night having a good time and doing your own thing, or you can be in the club at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning and doing your own thing. This, I don't know about this over here. We'll find out later. But But that's the cool thing about it. And luckily for me, I've been on two short weekend cruises. Haven't had any issues on either one of those. But I will say though, I mean, it's a recipe. Like I said, I mean, you've got the alcohol, you've got the late nights, you've got the different things that happen throughout the week, and so, and it can all escalate and it can all get ugly and it can be that type of thing. But
Yeah.
it's not as often as it seems, like, because with social media today, it does make it seem like things happen a lot more than what it does, but it's not.
Now, I have been witness to a fight before on the Magic. My first time on the Magic, this dude's sister hooked up with some other dude, and after the mega deck party, that dude like beat the holy living hell out of that other guy.
I know what went through your head, Gary.
I don't want to say, were they from Alabama?
I don't know.
All of our Alabama residents. I'm sorry, no. You just said this
that was
dude's
really-
sister hooked up with another guy. So I'm like, no, 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 no.
That's really funny.
So let me reword that. This dude's sister hooked up with. Well, no, I can't. It's still the same thing. Shit.
Yeah. I don't think you're gonna get anywhere with that one.
No.
Anyway, well, and I will say, I would think if I were to have a fight break out right in front of me, I would walk away. And I would probably say this is BS and just walk away. I've been around enough fights in previous jobs that I've had that I feel like I would be just annoyed more than anything. So, because I want my damn pizza. So
Exactly. And so now everything's shut down. Everything's, and it's a big freaking inconvenience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Trevor, you're not you're 20 years older than you were when you were in those fights. So.
Oh, I'm not even talking about fights I was in. I've watched inmates beat the crap out of each other. And I've been like, huh. So I'm just saying, like, you're just making me write a report. So
more paperwork.
Yeah. So, it's just things you deal with. But yeah, no, I'm not talking about fights I was in. I was not a fighter. I'll put it that way. So I was a tattletale.
That's how many fights I've been in my life.
Yeah.
So,
and they're in the hospital still. So, but I don't know. I'm just.
I find that kind of hard to believe. I mean, you were in the Air Force. I'm sure you were in a bar somewhere with some other branch of the military and got into a fight with them.
Nope. No, I'm a very non-confrontational person, man. I will do everything in my ability to not.
But what if they were hitting on your
altercation.
sister?
Bad verbiage. I'm sorry, bad verbiage.
Hey, I'm not a native Alabama. I'm not a native Alabamian. I'm a native Floridian. Okay, I just moved to Alabama.
Oh God, it's wild.
I just play an Alabama on TV.
Exactly. I just stayed at Alabama last night. That's all I did.
So, Mr. Manning.
Yes.
You have something that you wanted to bring up, actually, didn't you?
You know what I do. So. I'll start after you play.
No.
I'll start after.
Okay.
In the vast ocean of cruising adventures, the mishaps and mysteries on deck are considered particularly perplexing. On board the Carnival cruises, the dedicated trio known as the Golden Boys dive into the most baffling cruise conundrums. From lost luggage legends to the buffet line breaches, they're on the case. These are their stories. Bum bum.
That should have been the previous section's intro.
It probably should have been, but I thought this one was fitting.
It goes both ways.
It does.
But that intro, Jen, I guess that's the first time you've ever seen that intro because you always listen to the podcast.
I'm glad I was muted.
That is, I'm telling you, guys, ladies, gentlemen, kids, dogs, cats, chinchillas, whatever we have out there that listen to this podcast, you are missing out if you do not watch on Spotify. I'm just going to say, there's a lot of visual
feast.
Yes. That's what I was just about to say. There's a lot of visual things that, yes, you're going to miss out on. So, but I did want to talk about, there was John today, where we record on Wednesdays, as most of you know, unless you're a first-time listener. If you are, thank you, and thank you for making it this far in the episode. But today, John had a post on his page that he put that talks about vaping. And this person went through I'm not going to read all of it because it's just boring as hell. But this person gave a very long explanation about vaping and why it was so good, and that basically that vaping needed to happen anywhere on the ship, that they were being, I don't want to say demised, but
punished,
or put down, punished. Yeah. Because some of them were, okay. So this person says a lot of people who vape are trying to quit smoking. So when you make them go to the smoking section, that's, not helping them quit smoking. And I just was very, very happy, or I don't care one way or the other, but the comments were very interesting to me. But then also John's response was, look, hey, that was a great presented message. I'm not going to pretend I understand, because I've never smoked and never tried vaping. But I will tell you that we do insist that people who vape do it in smoking areas. Anyone caught vaping in a non-smoking area will be subject to the same consequences as those smoking a cigarette or cigar or pipe. Now, I will say he did leave out one thing, because there's other things that you can smoke on the ship that results in a totally different consequence.
Mhm.
So, but I want to read. There was one comment on here, and I want to read this comment because I was pretty surprised with this guy because this was one of the better comments that was in here that I read through. And oh, you're kidding me. I had it saved and then now it's not. But basically it said that this guy understands everything and he supports it and he even owns a vape shop. And he got into it and he started talking about it and he said that the air from these vape things, here it is. Yes, I found it. Okay. Because met some people. He said he's met people, some of his best friends that are on that cruise, and he's retired. They cruise, all the time. Blah blah blah. But even the air from the vape that you dispel has nicotine in it, so you are going to be subject to secondhand nicotine. And I was like, that I never thought about that before, because I see somebody vaping and I like to smell the strawberry shortcake. I'm not gonna lie, or Lucky Charms or whatever whatever they're vaping at the time. And so it never bothers me. But now to sit there and know that those chemicals that they're inhaling into their chest are the same chemicals that I'm going to be inhaling, I'm almost like, man, I'm glad that Carnival has this rule for the vaping and being it only in the smoking areas or somewhere where there's nobody around, obviously.
But then in the same aspect though, they do have a lot of vapors do have no nicotine vapes, which at that point you're just exhaling what you would the same thing as a nebulizer. So you would be nothing,
Right.
except for water vapor.
Yeah. And the other chemicals that you brought into your chest. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, and did you know there's vapes that don't have any nicotine in it, but they have THC in them? So
they're not supposed to have those.
How are you supposed to differentiate those people who are no nicotine, no anything, and the people, because you can't smell it.
They're not supposed to have the THC.
You're not supposed to. I mean, they should tell them that. That'll stop them.
There are those particular vapes, yes, that are not authorized on Carnival cruises.
Yes,
you are correct. Does that stop them from being brought onto Carnival cruising? I don't believe so.
No, not by a long
But if there's hey, listen, here's the thing, right? And we know this. We all are human beings. We all have this innate desire to break the rules. And if there is a way to circumvent a rule, a human being is going to figure it out, right? I mean, that's just what happens. But going back to this article, though, I did want to make, because I thought that was interesting, because there are a lot of people who will hit a vape as they're going down the hallway or whatever. And I will tell you this much. As a fire alarm inspector and inspecting the smoke detectors and inspecting those type of different things that pick up vapors in the air, if you vape at the wrong time, you will set off the fire alarm. Just be careful of where you vape and where you blow your vapor after you have inhaled it, because into a fire alarm, into a smoke detector, it will set off the fire alarm on the ship. It happened in Austin while we were while we were coming back. The fire alarm was going off in the hotel.
That's why it was going off.
Yeah, because somebody was vaping in their room, and so and so it set off the smoke detector. So
yeah, Mr. Manning went running to the rescue. So
that's not necessary.
He parked the car real quick and he went running. I never seen a man run so fast. And he was like, "I've got to save them." And so
no, it was just
I don't think there's a fire.
I didn't know how long. I didn't know how long. Well, see, that's the other side of it is just the strobes were flashing. There was no audible alarm, so I didn't know how long the fire alarm had been going off. So I was like, "Hey,
Yeah.
is there anything I can help y'all with? You know, what do we got going on?"
That
That's
explains
all
it because
was.
when you left the car, you were like, "It's just the strobes," and you went running. And so I didn't know. I did not understand. I was like, "Man, he's
If
real
people have
serious
ever
about
seen,
this."
if people have ever seen me, they know that this thing right here does not run. So
It was nothing like that. So, but yeah, no, it was an oddity of the day. So
and then Tom, I know you smoke. Trevor, I know you don't. Jen, we're gonna put the spotlight over to you. Are you a partaker of nicotine?
I am not. I am
Okay.
not a partaker of any of those things. So I think that I really appreciate that you brought up that vaping can trigger the fire alarm, because I would imagine at sea, a fire alarm going off is not something you want to make happen. I would expect their response is going to be very strong, regardless of whatever's in that vape.
Yeah.
So just don't do it,
Good
gang.
point. Good point. Good point.
first thing they check is the well tail, and then make sure.
At least on the freedom. At least on the freedom.
yeah. The freedom.
They check. They check the whale tail, and then they look to see where Amanda Barmore's at.
I was
And
about
then
to say that. Where's Amanda Barmore? A little conspiracy theory we have going. So
Every time it
She was.
catches fire, she's on a cruise.
mhm. So
in the vicinity. I
yes.
did notice that John posted the other day. He did post a picture of the Freedom, and it's still without the whale tail.
Well, it took
I
him
think
almost it took him almost a year to get the new one that just melted on. So
I think they should just go without at this point. Honestly, like
Yeah.
what's the big deal?
I mean, they got 3 other ships now that don't have whale tails, and they're about to add 2 more.
Yeah. So
Yes, and we know the names of those ships.
oh yeah, I
Oh,
forgot about
yeah.
that.
So yeah, that's something that we almost reported as being something else. But
Yeah, we almost jumped the gun on that one. That's what they're naming the XL class
So,
ships. Well, that's
yeah.
lame.
Oh, wait a
But
minute. No, these are P&O ships.
But then it
was
makes
good.
sense though to think about it, because one of the XL is supposed to come in 2026 and one's supposed to come in 2027 or something like that, right?
Mhm.
It's like a year apart.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so they wouldn't have both of them on that list right now. So
Yeah, it was
But
just
yeah.
funny.
it was funny.
It's like the Adventure and something else. Can't remember.
Explorer or Endeavor.
Endeavor. Yeah, why not? So there you go.
I'll look it up. Hell, I don't. Hold
Tim will
If
be
you
able
wanna
to
go-
tell us.
If you want to go way back, it's in the chat.
on. I got it right here.
It'd be quicker
So,
to ask Tim if he could just
it
let
was-
us know from Australia. So
Adventure and. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh! Seriously, come on, control panel.
Do you
Can't
mean-
wait
do you-
to sail
do you
on
need
the
a minute?
Carnival. Are you kidding me?
I can fill
No.
some dead space real quick.
And
Thomas Cuddy. Esa menor me tiene topiado.
All right, go ahead.
it's the encounter is what it is.
Oh, okay, good.
So yeah,
We were way off.
so, yeah, exactly. Endeavor. That's they would never name a ship Endeavor.
Yeah.
But no, gosh, it's not too
Oh.
soon for that joke, but that's still. But yes, so I will say this too, right? I am I keep a tab on my phone in my browser open just to the Airtable that Carnival puts out for the cruise director listing for every ship. If you're not aware of that, I'll try to make sure that I share it on whenever this episode comes out so that you can look as well. But it is funny to me how the Firenze, the Luminosa, the Venezia, now not the Venezia, because the Venezia is actually going to have Lee on it in December. And it also has Mark Hugh on it, or Mark Anthony. I don't know if his name's Mark Hugh or Mark Anthony. But
He goes by Mark Hugh goes by Mark Hugh. I don't know if his last name is or it's Mark Hugh.
his last name is Anthony. But yeah, so it's
Okay,
Mark. It's
yeah.
Mark. It could be pronounced MARQ. So it could
It's
be
Mark
pronounced Mark. Okay, it is Mark.
I've
Hugh.
cruised
Okay.
with him. Yeah. He
Okay,
goes by
so
Mark
he
Hugh.
looks exciting. He looks fun. I can't wait to cruise with him. But the other three ships, the Valor or the Valor. Listen to me, no, not the Valor.
The Valor.
Valor.
I want to go on the Valor.
It's 70s themed.
Oh, that's
the
amazing.
Luminosa and the Firenze both have. I don't know how to put it without sounding kind of weird, but this seems like their profile pictures, when you look at them, they don't look as fun as the other cruise directors, if that makes sense. Is that kind of one of those things that you can kind of pick up on? And they're always the same cruise directors. There's only like four cruise directors that stay on those ships, and they just alternate back and forth. Where like all of the other ships, they kind of like move back around and have different ones all the time. So, but yeah, so it's just kind of interesting to me though, the way that these new Italian fun Italian styles have these cruise directors that I'm not too familiar with. We'll just say that way.
Are they from Costa that they take those with the ship too?
It could be, honestly, now that you say that, because like I don't know though. I mean, they just have that look about them, and yeah, I don't know. I just they could have come over with the ships, I guess. I don't know.
Well, if you know, let us know over at our Facebook page and group at the Carnival Cruising Podcastaways. Just do a search for us there. You can also leave a speak pipe at speakpipe.com/Carnival Cruising Podcastaways. And you can leave us a voicemail there. You can tell us all the wonderful things, and I'll play it. And I swear I'll check it like I did this episode. I checked, and there was none, and I cried a little bit, and then I got things together. Had to tell them it's going to be another 10 more minutes, and then got it together, and then we started the show.
So I did want to cover Tom's post because it's got a lot of involvement. I've been getting notifications the whole time we've been recording.
The two things that in the list, yeah. I mean, that's got a lot of engagement. Yeah, I was kind of shocked.
I haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
I was kind of shocked at the two that you picked, actually.
The two that I picked?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's all day for me. Come on, dude.
I was kind of shocked at the casino thing. I mean, the casino, you took the casino money.
$100 every day in the casino?
Yeah.
Heck yeah, dude. 7-day cruise. You're talking about $700 they're going to give you.
I'll be on another 14-day. So
yeah, I mean, yeah.
If I had that, I'd just be stacking it. So I'd make it work.
Yeah. The post that we're talking about is in our Carnival Cruising Podcastaways group. Tom posted it, and it says you can pick only two. And it lists 5. Wow. It lists 5 options. The first one is free unlimited specialty dining reservations. Or number 2 is a free balcony suite for every cruise. Number 3 is a free cheers package for every cruise. 4 is a free $100 casino voucher per day. Or 5, free excursions in every port.
Which Trevor's sister just answered.
Mm-hmm. Shonda just answered. And Shonda's answers was, you got it, or you want me to tell you?
I got it right here. Yeah.
Okay.
2 and 5, a free balcony suite every cruise and a free excursion in every port.
And she doesn't listen to the show, so it's okay for me putting an S in her name. She doesn't care.
Well, I would, just looking at it, I would probably go with 2
Megan answered.
And 2 and 4 is what I would go.
Megan answered 2 and 5. She wants free excursions in every port.
She's an excursion person, so
I took 1 and 3. So
you want
especially dining and free cheers package.
Jen, what would your choices be?
2 and 5. I think I'm cruising with Megan at this point. 2 and 5
There
for
you go.
sure.
Interesting. Now, my question is, see, and I didn't want to get all technical, but if 5 was just carnival excursions only, and that's why I chose not. That's why I didn't choose it. Was because like I've only done 1, maybe 2 carnival excursions. Yeah, all cruises that I've done. I always do I just do other stuff. But so that is one of those things for me of why I stayed away from 5 was just because of the free excursions in every port.
Well, if the planets and stars all align, okay, and with our casino, then we would be able to pay for all of our excursions and get the free alcohol. So there you go.
That is definitely true. And so maybe I should have went 1 and 4 because I'm one of those rare people. I don't care for a balcony. Teresa, she loves one.
I love them. God.
Yeah. And so when we first cruised on our cruise and we had a balcony on, she said she would never cruise again without a balcony. And well, since then we've only had like 1 or 2 other ones. So, but free balcony upgrade. Yeah, so actually it says wait, that says a balcony suite every cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's not just a balcony.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be like the captain's suite.
Yeah.
We're changing hearts and minds now. Look at this. He's got to rethink the whole strategy.
I may go 2 and 4. I'm editing my choices right now as we speak. Yeah.
What is
that? You didn't realize it was a balcony suite, Tom?
No, I'm thinking, having my own hot tub on that.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you get some of those suites, man, and you could really be, especially you get one of those corner suites back at the aft.
We were the last time we were on the Viasta. We had we had friends that
you're saying that right.
I think it's a spin-off of the Velour.
We had a friend that was that had a suite, and it was a balcony suite, and the bathroom alone, or should I say bathrooms? I'm pretty sure it was bathrooms alone. I mean, it was like a real bathroom, and I was like, "What? This is wild!" And so. Oh,
there's a reason that those sell out quick. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, they have obviously there's compared to the number of rooms to the number of suites, there's a big difference. But I mean, suites, I think personally are probably some of those first things to go on a cruise, and I mean, I have a friend that's a travel agent. Won't have to mention who she is because probably everybody knows that she's the official travel agent of Carnival Cruising Podcast Toys. But she has a client, and that's all they book is suites. And I mean, obviously, she loves that person, but I mean, I guess that's one of those things of if you could cruise 4 times a year, that's a good question. If you could cruise 4 times a year at $2,000 a cruise, or cruise 1 time a year in a suite for the cost of those 4, which would you do? That's another topic for another time.
That's another topic. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a good one, though. Maybe that would be a question that Mr. Manning will have to post on Facebook. And
I'll try to make it a fancy graphic like Tom's was.
Oh, I stole that off of another group.
Okay.
Post that on a speak pipe. There you go. and give us your answers there. So there you go. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. I've got dinner waiting on me. So make sure you guys head over to our Facebook page, and search for Carnival Cruising Podcastaways. SpeakPipe. I'm not going to go over that again. It's there. Click it in the link below. If I didn't put it there, go to the last episode. It might be there. So I'm never guaranteed that it's going to be there because I forget things. So, and Madison writes half my descriptions. So you guys are lucky you get what you got. So anyways, just know that you're unique, you're special, and you are loved.
And remember, anything that happens on the ship stays on YouTube. Bye.
17 days. I'll be boarding a ship. In 26 minutes from now, we'll be sailing away. So in 18 days, I will have a luxurious, fantastic, most delicious, and enormous, epidemic, breakfast burrito in my hand.
I don't think you put enough adjectives in there because you just.
Did you say the burrito was an epidemic?
Yes.
Epidemicness.
Epidemicness.
Yes. It can cause an epidemic.
Well, there's no moment in life that cannot be improved with a frosty cocktail on the Serenity deck.
Love it.
Very nice.
And remember to save the foosball table. Bye-bye.
Adios.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
It's too funny.